Making something out of nothing, nigga. I've been innovating with the risk I'm taking, cause consistent payments are the indication that you got your situation situated and I'm good. You know I got it coming in on the schedule. I put in the work to climb up the mountaintop, cause when you up, you get better views. I'm sitchy.
Yo, so alright, so boom. Tell me like your story. Like how did you like even get into making music? Like, you know what I'm saying? The early story, not that story how like you got with Conway, the early story, how you even fell in love with music to begin with. What's your first rap type shit?
Shit, man. So really, it was fucking with Scoop. You know what I'm saying? Like I moved on Andover when I was probably about 9, and living across the street and shit from Scoop. He lived at 65. I lived at 56. So we literally was across the street from one another. And that nigga, you know, he always would be rapping, him and his cousin and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Peasy. Them niggas will always be rapping and shit.
Shout out PZ, man.
Yeah, shout out to Peasy. That's my dog. And man, I used to go over there to his crib and them niggas be beatboxing and shit, and they taught me how to beatbox, and then niggas be rapping on the karaoke machine and all that. And man, one day I was over there, we was all kicking it, playing video games and rapping and shit, and them niggas is like, man, yo, you go write a rap, da 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 da. I'm like, I bet. So I went to the crib, put some shit together, came back the next day, got to spitting my shit, rapping my shit. They like, yo, this shit raw as hell. So then from there, like, we was always just trying to get good enough to go to their uncle's studios. That was always like the thing. Like, yo, Jay Villains, they got a real studio. It was in the basement at his crib over off of Delvin.
You used to have to pay to go to the studio?
Nah, so this what happened. So, like I said, they had the house studio, whatever. Shout out to Nam. He had the studio and he produced and engineered. And we used to fucking rap on the karaoke machine. We used to rap with the 2 speakers and put them together, and you know what I mean. Plug one into the mic jack and the other one in the speaker joint. We used to do all that shit. And then one day, his uncles heard us. Oh shit, y'all decent. Like, yo, come to the studio. So we go over there one day. And that was how, like, him and his uncles, like I said, they had a rap group. They was called Jay Villains.
Word.
And they had like a real like label. It was called Starving Records. Funny enough.
Starving Records is crazy.
Starving Records. And they taught me how to like write songs, like how to write like, I knew it was 16 bars.
Yeah.
But they taught me how to like write like hooks and how to structure my songs.
So you always knew how to rap, but they kind of like showed you how to like make different songs. And different hooks. You was rapping about the bitches, huh?
Yeah, I mean, shit, back then, we was trying to fucking be better than Bow Wow back then. That was like the big thing, Bow Wow and Romeo, nigga. We used to have diss tracks. We had Smoke for Bow Wow and Romeo and Lil Zane and all them niggas back then. Sammy, we had Smoke for Sammy too. You know what I'm saying? We had Smoke for all them niggas.
Having Smoke for Sammy and Little Bow Wow.
Bro, we had
crazy.
Smoke for all them niggas, bro.
To you, brother.
We was just trying to fucking get heard, bro. You know what I mean? Like back then, and so they had actually ended up signing us as the Young Bucks, and we put out we cut a demo, and it had songs from Jay Villains, and we had a song or two, I think, or we had one song on the demo, but we were cutting a bunch of records or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And I was putting together my project. And then I think we were working on like a group album at the time. Scoop was Dre Boss. You know what I'm saying? That was his name back then. Dre Boss, yeah. And then Peasy. Damn, what the fuck did Peasy name used to be? I forget what his rap name used to be, but Peasy was like the best one out of all of us, for real. Okay. Peasy was raw. And he had a few songs like from that era that was just out of this world. And so, we had, like I said, we cut the demo. I did my first couple shows with Starving Records. Like, our very first show, it was at like a high school party.
Word.
Downtown and shit. We did that. We went to Rochester.
Like what kind of, like a house party type?
Nah, it was at like a venue. It's the venue was on Ellicott and what is that, Genesee or I forget the cross streets that it's on, but it's like downtown.
Okay.
It's right by Living Proof.
Okay, yeah.
It's right over there, like right in that area. And so we actually got booed off the stage from that joint. Yeah, anybody went. They was trying. It was that era where you could go to the club and shit, and you was trying to get danced on and shit. Niggas wasn't trying to hear us, young niggas, doopy as hell, trying to rap. Like niggas wasn't trying to hear that shit. They was not jacking it. But we did that show. Actually, that wasn't even our first show. Our first show was at the Afro Dog Shelter. So the motorcycle club, Afro Dogs.
Okay.
It was there. They still got that shit. It's over on Genesee.
Okay.
So that was our very first show, and then we had another show. That was the one I was talking about. Then we went to Rochester, did a show, and then we did like a photo shoot. We had a website. It was a whole
crazy.
thing.
That's fire.
Yeah, it was dope. And then the nigga Nam ends up and moving to Atlanta, like with his family and shit. Cause like when we would go to the studio, it was in the basement. But he had like a wife and kids upstairs. We would be over there, nigga, all like staying the night in the basement, like recording and going, you know what I mean, doing all that shit. And man, he ended up fucking moving to Atlanta, and like to this day, bro, it's still records and shit that I haven't heard. Thank you. There's still records and shit I haven't heard from back then.
That's
like,
crazy.
Cause like, yo, them shit's just lost in the sauce now.
Nah, he gonna find them joints and sell them joints.
Nah, for real, shit.
For real.
He should.
You know
But yeah, that was how I kind of got started, and then like when niggas had moved. So when Nam moved, me and Dre was still cool, but he ended up moving from off of my street like not too long after that, and then he really got into the streets and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just like I was going to school obviously because I was in high school, but I was just more so on some like I was still running around and doing what I was doing, but I more so was just like on some cool shit. I just wanted to get girls and I wanted to rap.
Tight.
And then it was just like I would be around niggas that would do a lot of weird shit and a lot of like shit that I know I ain't had no business doing, but I just was like, man, I'm trying to get girls and I'm trying to rap. That was like
so you wasn't trying to get too deep into that shit.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to get too deep into that shit, man. So
you know what I mean? I was the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely was the same way. Didn't want to try to get too deep with that shit.
Yeah, because I just always knew better because it's like, yo, this shit ain't going to lead to nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I always said, for real.
So that was like my vibe, like back then. And then I got to be about 16, and I used to be with this nigga named Leonard.
Okay.
My man Len C, or I think he goes by Fliggity now. He's still putting out music too.
Light skinned dude.
Yeah,
I know.
I grew up with Fliggity. I grew up with Fliggity. Yeah, he grew up down the street from me. So the one day, and you know, me and Esco was cool too at this time. You know, Esco used to have a studio too, so I used to go over there and record and shit. We used to, you know.
For y'all that don't know, Esco, well, it's Billy Esco. I guess y'all might know. So
yeah,
Billy
for sure.
Esco.
But I used to go over there to his crib and record every once in a while. But then when I linked up with Fliggity the one time, he was like, "Yo, you gotta come and fuck with my man Corey downtown and shit." Matter of fact, yo, that's Esco cousin, or we was calling him Busy. That's Busy cousin. All right, so then I pull up over there one day. I forget how we even got down there. We might have drove with Busy mom and shit when she had the red Envoy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We used to be out in that Envoy, bro. The Envoy, that's a legendary car. The red Envoy, nigga. But anyway,
that's a legendary car dinner in every hood.
But I'm talking about this specific red Envoy, nigga. Niggas was on missions in that car, bro. Real missions. But so we pull up over there, and I didn't know that I was meeting Camouflage Monk.
Okay.
This is G5GI. And, you know, we used to record at his people's, like, crib up in the attic and shit.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, that was my first time meeting him. And, you know, I used to go over there because his brother had a label, him and Black Snipe, Alumni and Black Snipe. This shit was called ULD.
ULD, I remember that.
Yeah. All them niggas, you know, they was from, like, 31.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
down
saying?
the way.
Yeah, it was from down the way. So, you know what I mean? It was crazy because, you know, I grew up on the east side, and so I didn't know too much even about that area in Buffalo.
Yeah.
All I used to hear was, man, them niggas down the way, them niggas be on bullshit, like, we don't fuck with them niggas and all this other shit. And this is all the older niggas telling me this. So, like, I don't know really nothing. All I know is what I hear.
Yeah.
I ended up going down there and shit, so I'm, you know, already on edge, because I'm like, man, who is these niggas? Like,
right.
Is they gonna be on some weird shit because where I'm from? But they was all cool, and I wasn't like on some hood shit
regular
anyway.
people.
Yeah, regular ass niggas, bro. It's just funny how Buffalo is, bro.
Yeah.
But I say that to say I ended up getting cool with them. We did, we did some music and shit, man, with the whole ULD thing, and niggas had shot videos. I think Esco, he had put up a little clip of, I think on his birthday, he put up a clip of ULD is in the club.
I don't remember.
Niggas had shot like a real, so basically niggas had shot like a real music video for this one song that they had. And shit.
I know what video you're talking about. I just don't remember the
they
post.
shot it like in the club. It was literally in the club. So
and we had sunglasses on and shit.
Yeah. Biz was rapping like Wheezy. Busy F Baby.
I definitely remember that joint.
But yeah, so I ended up fucking with them niggas for a minute, and then we ended up making the whole First Class movement, you know what I'm saying, and putting that shit together, Biz and me and Grape Juice, and just everybody who was like kind of in tune with that shit. And that was when we put out Highly Anticipated, you know what I'm saying? I got to be about 18, I think I was, when we did that, 18, 19, because that was before Ocho, so yeah, it was like right around that time. And then from there, shit, I moved out, we got the one spot, we got the apartment, and then that was when I got my recording equipment. So once I had
that's
my own
when you
shit,
got your, this was at Ocho when you got your
it was at Ocho, because I had an ex-girlfriend. Yo, shit is so crazy. So my ex, I was telling her like, yo, cause she knew I wanted to do music. She knew I was like in college too. Yeah. But she knew I wanted to do music. And I was telling her like, yo, cause I was working at Finish Line like part-time at the time. And I'm telling her like, yo, I really want to get a computer cause like I wanna record music. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm tired of paying to go to the studio. It was like a few studios I'll go to, right? It was like the one joint I went to, it was over on Kensington. It was my man brother shit. I recorded a couple songs there, and niggas told me, oh yeah, the files is corrupted. I can't bounce them down, da-da-da-da. He like, yo, come back next week, and I'll have them for you. I go back the next week. It's a random nigga on my song. Like, yo, what the fuck? So it wasn't nothing wrong with the files for real. It's just niggas was just on some weird shit trying to get on songs and all that. So I didn't want to record there. I was going to record over on Parkside with DJ Shay. Rest in peace, DJ Shay. Yeah, rest in peace. But that nigga was trying to charge me, I think for 2 hours of studio time, he charged me like $120, which is a lot of money back then.
That's crazy.
You get what I'm saying?
That's
so
crazy.
Like I recorded 2 songs over there. I think it was like $120. I'm like, nah, I can't do this because I'm working part-time. So so I'm telling her like, yo, I want to get a computer. I know I could get this, I could do this. And she like, all right. So she opened up a credit card at Best Buy and bought me this computer. Like it was like $550, which again back then was a ticket. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like that shit was a lot of bread. So I'm like, damn, like she riding for me, she down. Yeah. So I'm like that. So
what you doing to her, bro?
That was my shorty. That was my joint. That was my
putting
joint.
It down.
Yo, listen.
This nigga was putting
it down. I went to prom and all that with her, bro. That was my joint. Funny as shit though. So I get my recording equipment and shit, and me and her, we was dealing with each other for like 4 years. She's still, she good people and all that still, you know what I mean? Yeah.
You give her that $550 back?
Nah, cause she never asked for it. But this is what she would do.
Man, you gotta give it to her.
Let me tell you, this is what she'd do. She'd hit me like, she'd get mad at me, we'd get to beefing every single time. I lied to you now, this probably happened 20 times.
She'd bring it up.
Pack that computer up. I'm coming to get it. Every single time. Huh? Yeah. Yo, listen. Yo, exactly. Niggas ain't heard that yet. But that's so that shit would happen every single time, bro. I lied to you not. Shit, pack that computer up. Da-da-da-da-da. Man, that's why I don't let nobody do nothing for me now. You know what I'm saying? Because, nah, you ain't about to hang that shit over my head.
You emotionally scarred, bro.
Yeah, for a fact. You
like
ain't about to hang that shit
over
my head. And that was what I needed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You heard that Little Baby song? Yeah. Emotionally scarred? Mm-hmm. That's the soundtrack for that time of your life.
Nah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Just going back, so then, I was recording myself. When I met you, I was recording myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That was over at Custer?
Yeah, over on Custer. So we had the one apartment on Mary Mac, then we had Ocho. So we got evicted out of the one joint. because we was just too loud. It was too wild.
Yeah.
Like we used to have parties every day.
Yeah, type shit.
Then we moved down the street to 187. I'm sorry, we went from 187 to 85, and that was Ocho. We was there for like a year,
Type.
and then me and Weez moved over to Custer.
Okay.
So that was how it was. And yeah, man, that's like the rest is kind of history. Like I ain't gonna go through everything.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying. Like you wanted to know how I got started and shit.
Type shit. That's crazy though, man. That's a journey, man. You definitely been putting in hella work.
Shit, and the crazy part is like the way I be thinking about this shit is, I feel like that was like what I talked about just now. It was like two parts of my journey, and like there's been a whole nother journey since 2020.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
word.
so it was like the early part of my life. Then it was like that, almost like that middle part. But now I'm on a whole nother, like this is a whole nother journey. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you just in the beginning of that journey.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?